The streets will never know
the real me.
the holes may touch,
But never feel me.
I'm trying to make the money,
Reveal me.
but too many motherfuckers trying to kill me. The police trying to keep me down,
Like a buffalo.
the streets trying to bring me down.
To some other low.
I need to find a way out,
But you never know how many motherfuckers hate to see a brother grow.
What's 9 plus 10?
Art. Ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed art. Taste. Music. I figured out how to make a video without spending any more money on new comics, and we're going to be talking about comics I've already bought. Get in there! Absolute DC, a movement that started last year. They took their most famous characters and revamped them with new origin stories to bring in new readers. DC over the last 10 years with the New 52, the Rebirth, and now the Absolute. They've tried 3 times to restart their continuity, and this time it's actually worked. It's flipping changed everything. It's changed the way people speak. I can't tell you how many videos I've watched where people are reviewing it and now they go, oh, this is absolutely peak. This is absolutely fantastic. It's like DC have invented the word absolute and erased every other adjective or intensifier. So that's what we're going to be talking about. This movement got me back into comics. This is what we're working with. So if it wasn't for Absolute, you wouldn't be having No Scope, Nightwing, 9+10.
21.
We are going to be ranking the 3 main Absolute titles. That is the big 3 of DC, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Oh, and before we get started, Spirit of the Dolphin. I'm going to keep it concise and I'm going to keep it to the point. They took the big 3 characters and then changed a fundamental aspect of their story. What if Batman? What if Superman? What if Wonder Woman? I believe this was the first one that got released. Dude, I did not organize my comic. Absolute Batman, baby. A series that begs the question, what if Batman was not a billionaire? There's gun crime, there's wealth disparity, of course, Bruce Wayne having no money, there's big action. Batman is a hulking gym lad, super amazing. Fuck, where do I go from this? Batman isn't a billionaire rich guy that attacks poor people on the streets. He is now a poor guy that attacks rich people, corrupt billionaires. Somebody help me, I'm being oppressed. Jeff Bezos type villains. The Joker is a mysterious billionaire that's untouchable. Written by Scott Snyder, fan of the show. Really good. It's about the little guy fighting the big guy. And the little guy is a big guy. He's big. He's very big, but still staying true to the character of justice and hope. And he's also a good swimmer. Absolute Superman. What if Superman didn't fall to Earth when he was a baby? Superman is already a fully grown man when he lands on Earth, and he has to find his own way. Krypton blows up due to an environmental crisis. See, that's quite relevant. And Superman is essentially a fully fledged functioning refugee on Earth. So this story begs the questions, what does a refugee do for work when they land in another place? What does a refugee do for food? And what does a refugee do when they have superpowers? You feel the loss of his planet. You feel the loss of his family. He goes through other refugee communities that are being oppressed by a large corporation called the Peacemaker Corps that are forcing these refugees all around the world in slave labor, and Superman is an advocate against that. So you may see a bit of a link in these 2 stories already, that it's about the lower class rising up against the high class. And that's the thing that they were trying to show with these new stories, is that even without the key fundamentals of their character, these superheroes are still heroes that are beacons of hope, even in the darkest of times. Can you believe that? The writers must be very intelligent creatures. Absolute Wonder Woman. Now then, what if Wonder Woman wasn't born on Themyscira? Huh? That's right. You don't know what that means. people aren't so familiar with Wonder Woman's character that you can't really take away a fundamental that everyone knows about. But instead of being raised on her mythological island of Themyscira, she was raised in the underworld. Great change for the character. Me personally, I'm not familiar with Wonder Woman, wasn't before I started reading this. Yeah, again, we have themes of oppression here, oppression of Wonder Woman by the gods, and unfair punishment. You know, she was banished to the island of hell when she was a baby for her crimes. Like, how could you have done any crimes when you're a baby? I don't know. It's about unfair punishment of women. And then she comes to the real world. She is this all-powerful, magical warrior. She has to deal with the military, and they're just not listening to her. Key patriarchal oppression of women, which is also a key theme in normal Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman already, without the absolute title, was a political comic. To have a female lead in a story for mainstream media these days. I'm just saying, ladies, I see you and I understand. And there's no ulterior motives with me saying that. So yeah, that's the overview of all of those stories. I'd say that the best one is Absolute Superman. When it comes to writing and changing the character, if you want a big step away from normal Superman, the Absolute Superman does that the best compared to the other Absolute titles. Absolute Batman is the most popular. It has moved away from the sort of political, stabby, punchy, and it's sort of just become who's who of other Batman characters and how they've changed slightly for the Absolute story. Like, they have Absolute Alfred, who normal Alfred would say, "Hey Batman, I'm always going to be there to patch you up." Absolute Alfred says, "I'm never patching you up." I fear that is the real brain rot. People just sticking to what they recognize. Oh, I understand that, rather than trying something new or breaking new ground. Because if you stop doing that, then you're only a few steps away from Dubai chocolate, Labubus, Oasis tickets, British. Either way, I'm just intellectual. I'd say that my favorite out of the three is Wonder Woman. I reread them all to make this video. You might not be able to tell that I did my research. And this was the one that felt the least like a chore. So Swag, the writing team, largely not American. You've got a lot of people from other countries, immigrants in America, writing these stories, so they have a more informed take on how it feels to be a fish out of water in a mega society, and people are eating it up. Yeah, there's layers to these stories. There's irony, and I think that's bold because you can't rely on your audience to always get the irony. And I mean, like in my last video, when I said, "You only live once, do you want that in Hindi, bitch?" That came across as quite plosive and cutting. That, like, what do I have against people that speak Hindi? Nothing. It was just, I do speak Hindi, and I do know how to say "you only live once" in Hindi. It's Zindagi na milegi do baragando. The irony could be lost on some people, and they think, well, this guy's angry. But actually, you know, I'm there. I studied film, and there's a lot of media criticism in that, of course. And you find out, you just know that minority groups in whichever society always have the best takes when it comes to making art. Like me, myself, I'm a white male. What can I say? What can I add that's new? I mean, my music is something else. I sonically show my experience navigating life. But if I was writing a comic, it would be shit. And you know what? Fuck the police. Would I recommend these to anyone? Well, that is a good question, because I know all 28 of my subscribers, and I don't think any of you like comics. So maybe sit this one out. And my song that I made is also about oppression. I was inspired by the Absolute Universe, and I made something beautiful, and it's all love. This video is love. Sometimes you may feel like you're underwater and you can't breathe, and you've just got to jump out and take a gasp of air through your blowhole. So this video is dedicated to all my fans, my dolphin pack. Let's fucking go.
21